Everyone's out here telling you that 3D animation like Toy Story takes a full studio and months of work. But check this out. I built this entire Pixar-style animated trailer myself using Seedance 2.5 inside Higgsfield, an all-in-one AI filmmaking platform where I can create the characters, environments, shots, and animation all in one place. Hi, I'm Mira, and I do AI animation for a living. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I built this trailer from scratch. Character design, environment design, shot generation, all the way to the final edit. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to do this yourself. Every prompt I used is in the free prompt pack linked in the description. Let's get into it. Before I touched a single generation, I had to lock in the exact visual style. Because if you skip this step, your character can look completely different from one scene to the next. So I went to Pinterest and built a quick reference board. I searched for things like Toy Story animation, Pixar character design, 3D cartoon renders, Pixar lighting, and stylized 3D animation. And from those references, I focused on a few things: character proportions, materials, lighting, and color. Big heads, small bodies, soft rounded shapes, matte surfaces, warm lighting, soft shadows, and that saturated Pixar-style color palette. I pulled around 5 to 10 images and kept them all in one folder. And this became the foundation for everything else, because these are the exact references I used throughout the entire workflow. Once my references were locked, the next thing I needed to do was lock my characters, because consistency starts way before you generate your first shot. So I went to Higgsfield, clicked image, then changed the model to Nano Banana 2. Using those same references, I built out a full character sheet for each character in my cast. Front view, 3/4 view, side view, back view, plus 2 or 3 expressions, all in the same 3D animated style. For my first character sheet, I asked for a production-ready turnaround sheet using my Pinterest references purely for style, proportions, materials, and lighting, and made it clear I wasn't copying any existing character. I asked for front, 3/4 side, and back views on a plain studio background, plus 3 expression close-ups, and locked in strict rules so nothing could change between views. I pasted the prompt, uploaded the reference image, then set the aspect ratio to 16:9 and the quality to 2K, and hit generate. The result came back clean and fully consistent across every single angle, exactly like an official pre-production asset. Then I did the exact same thing for my second character, just swapping the description for a young explorer in a khaki vest and a headlamp while keeping the same rules so nothing photorealistic or inconsistent could sneak in. That result matched the first sheet's style almost perfectly, which meant both characters genuinely felt like they belonged in the same world. And once both sheets were locked, I had my full cast ready to reuse in every shot from here on out, with no need to rebuild them from scratch. So here I used the same logic that I used for the characters and applied it to the environments. Because if your world shifts between shots, the whole thing falls apart. So I locked my environments before generating anything else. For my first environment, the bedroom, I asked for a full environment sheet from 4 angles: a wide establishing view, a 3/4 view, an opposite angle, and a side view, based on a reference image with strict rules that the furniture, colors, and layout couldn't change between views at all. I pasted the prompt, uploaded the reference image, and then hit generate. The result was a clean, cohesive bedroom that looked identical across all 4 angles, exactly like a real production asset. For my second environment, the outdoor world, I used the same structure. But this time, I described a completely original outdoor location, a treehouse world, and told it to only borrow the visual style from my reference image, not the actual layout or objects. That result gave me a fully original outdoor set that still felt like it belonged in the exact same animated universe as the bedroom. And with both the bedroom and the outdoor world locked, I now had 2 fully reusable environments to shoot the entire trailer in. Now this next part is honestly the piece that changes everything about how consistent your shots turn out, and that's the prompt structure. Instead of writing random prompts every time, I follow one exact formula: subject, then action, then environment, then camera, then style, then constraints. The subject locks in who the character is and what they look like. The action describes exactly what they're doing, plus secondary motion like hair or fabric reacting naturally. The environment reestablishes the world every single time, since each clip generates completely independently. The camera describes the shot like an actual cinematographer would. The style style is a fixed block I always include, so every shot matches in visual quality. And the constraints close it out. No photorealistic skin, no live action look, no text on screen. For anything longer than a single beat, I use timed blocks. So 0 to 5 seconds, 5 to 8 seconds, all the way up to 30 seconds per clip. And whenever I need to reference my locked characters or environments directly inside a prompt, I just tag them in. Honestly, writing this out by hand every single time got repetitive fast. So I actually built a Claude skill that takes a plain English scene idea and turns it into a fully structured Seedance 2.5 prompt using this exact formula, with the style block baked in automatically. That's what generated every single prompt you're about to see. And the short story I fed into it was this. A tiny magical star falls into a kid's bedroom at night, and two miniature heroes, an astronaut and a young explorer, have to race it back to the window before sunrise, or it loses its magic forever. Along the way, the bed becomes a mountain, the desk becomes a cliff, and scattered toys become obstacles in their path. I pasted this story inside and hit generate. And within seconds, all 6 shots were created. So now let's actually get into generating the shots. So I click video, then choose model Seedance 2.5. For my first shot, I had to establish everything. The fallen star tumbling through the window and landing on the floor as its glow starts fading. I fed in my bedroom environment sheet as a reference, and specifically told it that this needed to happen at night because I wanted that quiet, moonlit mood right from the opening frame. Then I set the duration to 8 seconds and hit generate. The result nailed the tone I was going for. Hushed, magical, exactly the kind of opening a trailer like this needs. For my second shot, I introduced both characters discovering the star for the first time. I tagged in both character sheets directly as image references, so their design stayed completely locked, and described them approaching the star with wonder as its light reflects in the astronaut's helmet. The output kept both characters completely consistent with their turnaround sheets, which is exactly what tagging the references is supposed to do for you. My third shot was the main chase sequence, so I broke it into 3 timed beats, climbing the bed like a mountain, weaving through toy obstacles, then reaching the base of the desk like a cliff. I tagged both characters again and reused the exact same bedroom description word for word, so the environment didn't drift mid-shot. It came out feeling like a real action sequence, with the camera tracking low and close the whole way through, which is exactly the energy a chase beat needs. And for my fourth, I built the payoff, reaching the windowsill and releasing the star back into the sky just as morning breaks. The exhausted climb up, then the release, and the star flaring back to life. The result landed exactly where I wanted it to. Simple and warm, a proper emotional close to the whole sequence. And honestly, what made this entire process work was reusing the exact same character and environment descriptions in every single prompt. The second I got lazy and shortened a description, that's when things started drifting. So keep it word for word every single time. I kept on generating till I finished all the shots and moved to editing. Once all 4 shots were generated, I pulled everything into DaVinci Resolve to cut it together. This part's actually simple compared to everything before it, because the shots were already generated in order with matching characters and matching environments, so I mostly just had to trim the pacing and drop it all in sequence. No color matching headaches, no fixing inconsistent faces between clips, because all of that was already locked in from step 1. So that's the full process. Locking your references, locking your characters, locking your environments, building prompts with a formula that actually holds up shot to shot, and then just cutting it together at the end. Once your cast and your world are locked, making a full trailer like this genuinely just comes down to writing out your story beats and letting the formula do the heavy lifting. Every prompt from this video is in the free prompt pack in the description. And if you want to try Higgsfield yourself, that link's down there too.